Facebookers and Instagrammers, and welcome to my channel, My Pink Journal. If you are new here, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. If you are a subscriber, welcome back, and thanks for your support. In this video, I wanted to talk about my experiences and what I did when I was first diagnosed with fibroids. First thing I'm going to talk about is, things that I did do, and then I'm going to talk about things I wish I would have done when I was diagnosed, and then later on I will give some suggestions. As with all these videos dealing with any type of medical condition or health, I am not a professional. I do not have the professional capacity to diagnose. So please, if you have any serious questions, concerns, or if you're dealing with any complications related to fibroids, consult with your primary care physician or your OBGYN. Everything I share in this video is just basically based on my experiences, and it's just, meant to bring you some awareness, to encourage you. Some of the things I mentioned, you might try it out or you may not. You might find something that works better. So I was 35 when I was diagnosed, so that was back in, I'm probably going to tell my age. I believe that was back in 2015, I believe. I was 35, yeah. And I was diagnosed during a regular, pelvic exam. The doctor, she was doing a pelvic exam. I can't tell you what the real reason why I was in there. I think it was just part of my regular checkup at the VA. And she told me I had fibroids. And I'm like, what is that? And then she explained they're tumors, but they're benign. And it's in the way she explained it, it's something that is just a normal thing women get during their childbearing years. So when I found out that I had fibroids, at first I was a little freaked out, especially when I heard the word tumor. But I felt a little bit better when she told me they were benign. And the chances of fibroid being cancerous is, from what I researched, them to none. So, anyway, first thing I did is did research. I did online research, Google, and I searched fibroids to see what kind of information I can get. And then to take it a step further, I went to the library to see if I can find books, articles and things talking about fibroids. And that's what I did. The second thing I did was, and I think the second thing I did was I asked questions about it in conjunction with the research. I did the research so I know what to ask about, and then I also did it so that I would kind of be, I wouldn't be so much in the dark when talking to my OBGYN about fibroids. So that's what I did. Research, ask questions. And then, now this right here, this is just my opinion. This last thing, excuse me, there's no medical research or anything supporting this. This is just me. But the third thing I did was start looking at my diet, looking at my lifestyle change, and seeing if they had anything to do with fibroids. I have read some articles on fibroids, and what I've read is that there's a belief that fibroids may be in connection with our gut health. How we what we put in our body, toxins that we put in our body, and so somewhere I read, and I'll share the information later. If I have a book on that, actually, I'll share it later. But somewhere I read that fibroids may be a result of what's going on in our gut. But like I said, besides that, there's really no medical backing on it. That's just my opinion. But that's why I looked at my diet to see if that had anything to do with fibroids. And later on, when I told my mom that I had fibroids, she was suggesting that I, cut down on the dairy products and red meat. Now, I want to talk about things I wish I would have did when I was diagnosed with fibroids. And the first thing is, I wish I would have got treatment sooner. I believe I mentioned this in a previous video, but the reason why I didn't get treatment sooner is because, first of all, I didn't know nothing about fibroids. I didn't know what it was, and then when I did go out to see if I could get some type of treatment, I didn't like what I was hearing. I didn't want no surgery. So I figured, well, maybe I should just go ahead and wait it out. A lot of times you'll hear that. When I did my research, I seen it in research where some women are suggested, you can wait it out if you don't have any complications or anything like that. Wait it out. And then, I even heard that from another doctor that I got, and he suggested, if you want, wait it out. But anyway, but looking at my situation, that's something I wish I wouldn't have done. I wish I would have went on here and got treatment sooner. Um, and who knows, if I would have got treatment sooner, I probably could have saved my uterus. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. The next thing I wish I would have done when I first found out I had fibroids was told my mom. I don't know. I guess the reason why I didn't tell her right away is because I didn't want to be worried, because, I didn't, fibroids, I'm thinking tumor, oh my God. And then at the same time, during that time, I also got a letter from Hermano saying that they found something in my left breast. And I didn't tell that either. So it was just a lot going on at that time. And, I just did not want to, have my mom all worried. It was just some things I just wanted to kind of do more research on and figure out first before I told her that. Now at that time, I did have someone else, another young lady that I did go to share that with, because, it was just crazy. And, she helped me out during that time. We prayed, and, I got through it. But I wish I would have told my mom when I first found out, because I did not know that she had fibroids as well. And she also had treatment. She believed, just like me, she got a hysterectomy, but um, um, our situation was slightly different, but if I would have told her, she probably could have gave me some advice. She probably would have told me to go ahead and get treatment sooner. But like I said, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Now, based on my experiences, here's some suggestions, on what you can do, if you are diagnosed with fibroids. The one thing you do want to do, of course, is, get with your OBGYN, your doctor, a professional. That's one thing of course, you want to do, that I mentioned in this video. Everything else is just pretty much, you know, my opinion. You can choose to do it or not. So that's the first thing is, getting with your OBGYN or primary care physician, and making sure you have somebody who is, client centered. When I say client centered, they're listening to you, they're taking your feelings and everything in consideration. When it comes to talking about fibroids, they're very thorough. The second OBGYN that I got, I was lucky enough to have someone who was very thorough, broke things down, was open to any questions I had, so I liked it that. So the second thing is, do not wait to get treatment if your fibroid is already a good size, or if it's already big. And I say that because when I was first diagnosed, and when the pelvic exam was performed, there was no MRI, there was no ultrasound. She could just feel that, I had fibroids. And I feel like I need to say this because I know I'm going back and forth with the doctors I had, and I don't know if anybody's confusing the video, but let me clear it up. The when I was diagnosed with fibroids, again, that part is kind of foggy, but that was just a regular treatment. That and the OBGYN that did the pelvic exam was not my regular doctor. I want to say maybe I was referred by my primary care physician at the VA. All right. Then after that, I uh, decided not to go to the VA, and I went to Henry Ford, to another OBGYN who suggested a myomectomy. Um, I didn't really, at the time, I didn't like an option. I didn't want no surgery. So from there, I went to my OBGYN. I went back to the VA and got a different OBGYN. And this time, this became my regular OBGYN at the VA. So hopefully that cleared everything up, because I was noticing I was going back and forth, and I didn't want nobody to be confused. Like, okay, how many doctors did she have? Uterus, because I think that if the fibroid gets too big, um, then it becomes more and more difficult for your uterus to be saved. And I think that once it gets to a certain size, and again, this is based on my experience, then hysterectomy is you'll have to get a hysterectomy because there's no uterus left. My fibroid, and I did post pictures in a previous video if you saw it. There's a warning sign attached to that video because I know some people may be kind of squeamish. I know I am with certain videos, but if you see the fibroid in my previous video, I believe it was about 20 centimeters. And there's another video prior to that where I show different. I show a fibroid size chart to give you an idea of what does a fibroid look like at 6 centimeters, and what does a fibroid look like at 10 centimeters. My fibroid was, I want to say 20, and I want to say that was like close to the size of I'm gonna say a small watermelon. It was big. So because it was so big, I had to get a hysterectomy. So that's why I say don't wait to get treatment if it's already a good size fibroid. Also, very important is to have a good support team. Dealing with fibroids, because fibroids not only do they cause physical complications, but they can also cause emotional complications, emotional I don't know how to say it, issues. I know in my situation, making the decision to get surgery and get hysterectomy was not an easy decision, and so I needed the support of my mom. I have other sisters, good sisters, good friends who supported me. Church family supported me, so I needed that because getting first finding out about fibroids and not really knowing anything about it, and then moving forth and getting treatment, it can have an emotional toll on you. I know it did on me. So it was very important for me to have that support team. So also, last but not least, and this is kind of a hit or miss right here, because it really just depends on the situation. But when you're dealing with fibroids, and when you start talking about getting treatment, um, if necessary, get a second opinion. You may, and there's nothing against doctors or anything like that. You might talk to one doctor. If anything, I'm sorry, the second opinion would just just to be sure. Sometimes you need to hear the second or third time to be sure that okay, this is probably what I need to do. Or you might go to another doctor. One doctor may tell you, okay, well, you might need to get a myomectomy or hysterectomy. But you might go to another doctor and they can probably do something less invasive. Um, and as a matter of fact, I was doing some research to see if I could, find any type of fibroid specialist So far I haven't found a lot of them, but another idea would be to look into finding a fibroid specialist, people who specialize specifically in fibroids, because there's always a possibility they may have a better option or a better treatment. So those are just some suggestions. And then again, that's just based on the situation. If you have time to, go out and, get another opinion from another doctor or look for a specialist. So, okay. So, this video is kind of long. I was trying not for it. I didn't wanted to get that long, but that's okay. I'm hoping everything that I shared in this video was informative, encouraging. I'm gonna say it again. Please consult with your primary care physician. I am not a professional. I'm just sharing things based on my experience and my opinion. But if nothing else, I hope that this video has let you know that you are not alone in your fibroid journey. Leave some suggestions, questions in the comment section. And until then, I will see you at my next video.